Hello and welcome to the Add Astra Mod Spotlight. This is a mod that means to the stars, and that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to start by going to the moon. So you can see we've also got spawning here of oil, so we're going to need that for our rocket. But before we do any of that, let's get started with the basics of the mod. So we're going to need to get a coal generator made with some iron plates, which needs a hammer, which is just sticks and iron. Okay, so the coal generator, and we're also going to need a compressor, and the compressor is also needing some iron plates. Okay, so we can put our coal generator down, we can do a compressor, we can do some cables to get some power in, and then we'll just put a little bit of coal in there. And here's the inventory, which is pretty cool. And you can see we're going to be feeding this, and from here we can get steel plates. So the way to get steel is if we have a blast furnace with some iron ingots. You can see that the blast furnace is going to steel ingots are placed in the compressor. It's going to get steel plates. So to get to the moon, we're going to need oxygen. So we can take a look at the spacesuit. The spacesuit requires steel ingots, oxygen tanks, which require steel plates. So basically everything that we've already crafted. So all the pieces of the spacesuit are going to just require steel ingots and wool. So there's the helmet, there's the chest, there's the pants, there's the boots. And we're going to need to get an oxygen loader. So we take a look at the oxygen loader. You can see again, it's just steel items. So everything that we've already crafted. So the oxygen loader. So that looks like this. So we're going to need to put in essentially water into here. Let's just give the water pump a little bit of energy here. And you can see it's going to accrue water. And then we can also take our fluid pipe. And we'll extract. So you can see we're accruing oxygen there. And what you're able to do is you're able to put the spacesuit directly in here. You get these oxygen tanks, which also just require steel plates. They can also go in there, and you see they're going to consume a bunch of that as well. The other thing as well that you're going to need is to get the refinery. So obviously, like I just mentioned, we've got that oil source over there, so we'd have some oil buckets from there perhaps. And then into the refinery goes the oil buckets. So we just put that in, and it's going to convert that into fuel, 1-to-1 ratio. So you'll end up with a bunch of fuel buckets. And typically you're going to want to have 6 fuel buckets for your flight. The next thing you want to do is to make the NASA workbench. So the NASA workbench requires, again, steel plates. So we can take our NASA workbench. You're also going to need this, the launch pad. If you take a look at the recipe again, steel plates, iron plates, a bunch of different stuff like that. We need the rocket, of course. So to start with, you're going to want to get to the tier 1 rocket. And that's just made with steel, lots of steel basically, and iron. That's also the same thing, lightning rod as well. So we'll take our tier 1 rocket. And you just simply place it on there. Okay, so with our rocket down, you can shift right click and we're going to get this in the face. So it's going to need 3 buckets to fill up the tank. And this right hand section, as we'll see in the rover in a minute as well, this is just used for, this is for the return flight. So it's going to take 3. So essentially that's all we really need. We just need to put on our helmet so you can see we've got a full oxygen tank and everything else. See there's 100 and then maybe a little bit more here. Yeah, there's another tank there. And let's see just how much we've got left. Okay, 2. Yeah, we'll take whatever we've got. Okay, let's go to the moon then. So typically before you go to the moon, you're going to want to make sure you've got food. You're going to want to make sure you have a bunch of torches, soul torches, and glowstone, and steak, things like that. And then that is basically it. So here we are in the ship. So we're going to, and you get really, really cool effects here. Also look at it in F5. Show all the various different angles, I guess. There are some interesting achievements. You can actually jump out and stuff. Alright, now we have to click over here, and then for some reason I can't see the pictures, but I'm not sure that makes much difference. And then we have to find the moon, which is here. It says hold space, which we will do. So we want to see, you can see I'm dropping really fast. I'm holding space. I can, actually quite intuitive this. See I'm going really fast, hold space, slow down. Quite a pleasant descent actually. See I'm dropping like a stone now. Hold space, much slower. Actually pretty straightforward to land, really quite fast. We're actually landing, and we've already landed. Okay, so I can press shift now, and let's make sure we're in the right. Alright, so the good thing about these things is they're actually super intuitive. It's a very elegant design, this. I'm on 97% oxygen. Right click, it's just a consumable, and it will just take exactly the amount you need. So that's really, really cool. Now, here on the moon, there's basically a few different structures, and we've got some, let's see what happens here. So we've got secrets beneath. Enter a moon dungeon. I guess things were right here. We'll just take a look at this one first. So we go down and down and down through the spiral staircase, and here we have the dungeon. The design in some of these places is actually really, really good. Let's make sure we're in creative mode. So this is a very important room in the dungeon. So this has got all the desh ore. So basically this is what you need to craft like almost everything in this world. There is some other ore as well. You can see a bunch of cosmetic blocks are added, desh plating, all this sort of stuff. Let's just go through and take a look at some of the other things here. A bunch of different rooms. You can see here we have an enemy. Let's get our weapon out here. So we actually got some ice shards. So ice shards just used to make ice. Also, we'll see in the cryo freezer we can also make cryo fuel from them. So yeah, so a bunch of different enemies and a bunch of this desh stuff, ice shards, emeralds, all sorts of cool stuff in the dungeon here. The other thing, just want to see if there's anything else to mention in the dungeon. A lot of yeah, this is the larger room, and there's also this funny looking thing. So yeah, a bunch of enemies and stuff to fight here. Also have this room as well. Wow, I haven't even seen this room. That I believe was this thing. That would have been a moon globe. That's just a collectible you can spin. You get it from different planets. A bunch of desh in here. This looks like one of. There's a few rooms like this that have got like a bunch of extra stuff. Got space paint in there. Wow, okay. Looks like we just got all the different planets. That's pretty neat. So yeah, there are other structures though on the moon. So if we go to structures, we've got the lunar tower. Just looking underground here, we see we've got some cheese ore there. We do also have ice ore. If we go right down to the bottom, you see there's a bunch of desh, obviously, because it's the main resource. If we look particularly on like the ground, this is all ice shard ore. So the idea, I guess, is the moon ice shard ore. The idea is obviously for the cryofuel production. Got more of these guys here. Some desh. There's also iron as well. Actually, take a look at this tower thing now. So this is the actual tower. See, again, we've got some cool rooms here. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. These, I believe, are actually the proper villagers. So these all look like nitwit village. Yeah, they're all nitwits, these ones, unfortunately. But if you want to find the proper villagers, we might have some somewhere around here. Here you go. Here's like a cleric, for example. So yeah, so there's like a leather worker. What did you have? Yeah, you said a tunic. Some more space boots. Brewing stand there. So yeah, pretty cool little structure for the villagers here. And a bunch of more loot. There is also like a proper underground village as well. The Lunarian village. So the Lunarian village is unlike the tower, it goes underground. It has these, for some reason it has ladders which are like this. These are actually quite impressive, these structures. If we can get in here. You can see the respawn point. So yeah, a bunch of Lunarians here as well. A bunch more loot. What's that? Oh, the glowing iron pillar is pretty cool. So yeah, lots of decorative blocks. Sort of has like a warped theme as well for some reason. The bells actually work as well, so that's cool. Okay. The other thing as well that you can do, and you may have seen it earlier, is you can actually get the rover. So the rover just needs dash, so obviously that's what we've been finding here on the moon. And we take a look at the rover. This I found, I don't know why with the shaders, it maybe I just need to upgrade my shaders a little bit more. Very similar to the rocket in that you just need a bunch of fuel basically. By the way, this is what the pipes were made out of. Like there's some things where there might be earlier games items like to get the stuff more. Otherwise, you're going to be doing everything manually with buckets. I just didn't want to put that in the actual thing. So again, very similar. You have to shift click to actually get into the interface for this thing, and then we can just do fuel bucket. And you see, and you get even more slots here for the actual fuel, and then you can just jump in. And yeah, I do get this. Yeah, I don't know why it goes a little bit blurry when I move around for some reason. But it's fast, right? We can go into survival actually and just take a look at the actual speed of it. Just sort of the actual landscape, the lunar landscape is actually pretty cool. But there's definitely a lot more that I haven't covered yet. We've got more planets to check out. We've got a netherite spacesuit as well. Oh yeah, you can even leave the. It looks like you can go to Proxima Centauri. So yeah, this is obviously pretty work in progress. This mod, so I'm not going to go into it too much more than this because I know the video is going to get long if I go too long. One thing that is cool though, I'm not sure what happens if we do a tier 2 rocket. Ready for Mars. So yeah, the tier 2 rocket would be just like loads of dash basically in the same sort of thing. I guess we could try and quickly go to Mars here. Oh yeah, I didn't look down before. You can actually see the smoke. There's going to be all sorts of stuff in the show. Maybe I should have made the cryo fuel. Let's see if we can try and get to Mars if I can find it. Earth, Mars, there we go. Okay. Actually not that hard to navigate. I don't know why it's not... Oh, we made it to Mars though. We'll quickly just check out Mars then. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the whole mod, and I imagine some of the later stuff in mine. It's actually really good though, this mod. Like you can already tell that it's going to be like really, really good. Like it is already really good. So what do we have here? Conglomerate. So a bunch more blocks and stuff. Let's see what the book says about this. The space station thing I was trying to... That is going to be cool. I would like to show that if I can. We'll see though. So it looks like that with this we're going to need to get ostrum, which is another material. Space painting. So we did find some of this stuff. You can see this is where you might want to do... Yeah, we spoke already about cryofuel, and then the energizer. To charge an item, power the energizer, and then right-click on the energizer with that item. It stores 2 million energy. So... oh yeah, one more thing actually I didn't show, and it may actually work worse now, the solar panel. This is something you can make from the moon. So for instance, if I wanted to power my compressor. Yeah, it'll probably... I wonder if it does work worse. That makes... It's actually got a good interface though, right? That's still pretty good. So you can power stuff directly. I was using the cables for the first stuff, but yeah. I think maybe the energy generation is different. Oh yeah, one more thing as well to check out. There's so much in this mod, but I just want to try and give an overview. Is look at this. This is awesome. Like, you can see there's a bunch of mobs we haven't looked at yet, but there is a lot of really good configs here, like really good. Acceleration, max speed, coal generator, energy per tick. So you can actually make it, if you wanted to have a really super amazing coal generator, you could do stuff like that. This is good. This is really good, the config. Definitely worth pointing out. I could probably do a whole video on that, but I'm not going to. Just pop down here, take a look, see what is going down. Let's maybe locate something which is actually here. The Mars Temple. Let's see. What I like is that these structures are already kind of in place. What's to do with this thing? So there's ostrum, right? And that is the next tier of materials. Ooh, the sliding door, that sounds cool. That's where you make the energizer and the cryo freezer. The interface is incredibly good as well. Like, this is really cool design. But there's the Mars Temple. So yeah, we made it to Mars at least. But yeah, that's going to do for this video. Thanks for watching.